The rain is falling the way it does in Lagos when the sky decides it has had enough. Heavy, relentless. The kind that soaks your clothes in seconds and makes the night feel longer than it should. Blessing stands at the gate with a small nylon bag and a worn handbag pressed to her chest. Her wrapper clings to her legs. Water runs down her arms. She knocks once, then again, not because she believes the gate will open, but because her body still hopes for mercy, even when her heart already knows better. From inside the compound, a voice slices through the rain. Stop that knocking. You are not entering this house again. Another voice follows, sharper and younger. Barren woman, go and find where you belong. Blessing swallows hard. Her throat tightens. James, please, at least let me take my clothes. Silence answers her. Not the silence of confusion, but the silence of decision. Before we continue, we are so glad you are here. If you love stories where the underestimated rise and truth always wins, you are in the right place. Tell us in the comments where you are watching from. It truly means the world to us. And please, stay until the end. You will not regret it. Blessing has never been a loud woman. Even on her happiest days, she moves gently. She speaks with care. She listens before responding. It is the kind of personality people mistake for weakness, especially in a home where silence becomes a weapon. 5 years earlier, Blessing married James in a simple church wedding in Surulere. There was no luxury, no long convoy, no dramatic celebration. Just family, close friends, and hope. Blessing was a primary school teacher, and James sold building materials with his uncle. Money was not plenty, but laughter was. They prayed together in the mornings. They shared food without counting who bought what. On nights when money ran low, they ate ibe from the same plate and joked that love tasted better when shared. The first year of marriage was full of expectation. When Blessing missed her period, she bought a pregnancy test and hid it in her handbag until night. She walked home from school smiling to herself, imagining tiny clothes on a line. That night, the test showed one line. She tried again the next month. One line. She told herself not to panic. Many couples waited. God's timing was different. She chose patience over fear. By the second year, comments began to appear quietly, like drops of water on stone. During a family visit, James's mother, Mrs. Gloria, he watched Blessing serve soup with careful hands. You try, she said slowly, but a woman's real food is the child she gives her husband. Blessing laughed softly, hoping to turn it into a harmless remark. Mommy, God will do it. Mrs. Gloria nodded, her lips pressed thin. God will do it, yes, but do not waste my son's time. James squeezed Blessing's hand under the table and whispered, Ignore her. She will stop. She did not stop. Mrs. Gloria began visiting more often, turning Blessing's home into a place where Blessing constantly felt examined. She checked the kitchen. She checked the bedroom. She checked cupboards as if looking for proof of failure. One afternoon, she pulled Blessing aside near the balcony. Tell me the truth. Did you do something before marriage that spoiled your womb? Blessing's eyes widened. Mommy, no. Mrs. Gloria leaned closer. Then why are you not giving birth? Do not take me for a fool. Blessing tried to explain hospital visits, medical tests, supplements, prayer. She chose her words carefully because she still respected the woman's age. Mrs. Gloria waved her hand dismissively. I have heard all this grammar before. If your womb is not working, step aside. My son will not die childless. Blessing went into the bedroom and sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the wall. She wanted to cry, but crying had become a routine she was tired of repeating. James came in later and found her quiet. Blessing, I am sorry. She looked up. What did I do to deserve this? He hesitated. It is pressure. You know how my mother is. Blessing nodded slowly. Pressure should not make a man forget his wife. He had no answer. The third year brought a new layer. James's younger sister, Joy, returned from school and moved in for a short while. Joy was loud, always on her phone, always laughing at jokes Blessing did not understand. She called Blessing Auntie Blessing, with a smile that carried disrespect. Joy's friends visited often. They sat in the living room, talking freely as if Blessing was invisible. One evening, Blessing walked in with groceries and heard Joy say, "My brother is wasting his youth. Imagine marrying a woman who cannot even do the only thing women are known for." The room went quiet as Blessing stepped in. Joy smiled. "Auntie Blessing, welcome." Blessing stood still. Her hand shook. "Joy, do you want to repeat what you said?" Joy shrugged. "I said what everyone is thinking. Is it a lie?" Blessing turned to James, waiting for him to speak. He sat there, eyes fixed on his phone, as if silence could protect him. That night, Blessing cooked without speaking. The food tasted bitter in her mouth, but she served everyone because she did not know how to stop being kind. At the hospital, the doctor spoke gently. "Blessing, your tests show you can conceive. James should also run some tests." Blessing carried the paper home carefully. She showed James. "The doctor said we should both come." James frowned. "Why should I go? Are you saying I am the problem?" "No." Blessing said quickly. "The doctor said both partners." He stood up. "So you want my mother to start laughing at me? You want people to say I am the one that cannot produce? Forget it." Blessing watched him walk away, feeling something heavy settle in her chest. Mrs. Gloria heard about the request the next day and arrived like a storm. "So you are trying to disgrace my son now," she shouted. "You are wicked." "Mommy, it is normal medical process," Blessing said quietly. Joy laughed. "Auntie Blessing wants to pin it on my brother." Blessing looked at James, waiting. He cleared his throat. "Blessing, maybe you should focus on your own treatment." Something broke quietly inside her then. Months passed. One afternoon, Blessing returned home to find Mrs. Gloria seated with a woman from church. Papers lay on the table. "You will leave peacefully," Mrs. Gloria said without greeting. Joy added, "Anywhere, just not here." Blessing turned to James. "You are watching this?" He avoided her eyes. "I will rent you a place. Just go first." Blessing nodded slowly. She packed her things without shouting. As she stepped outside, the rain began. The gate locked behind her. She stood under a kiosk roof, shaking, until her friend Deborah came. "They sent me out," Blessing whispered. Deborah held her tightly. "You are not going back there like this." Weeks passed. Blessing rented a small room near her school. She worked, survived, and tried to breathe again. One Sunday, she met Mrs. Agnes at church, a woman whose kindness carried no judgment. "You are carrying too much," Mrs. Agnes said. "I was called BARREN," Blessing whispered. "Names given by cruelty do not last," Mrs. Agnes replied. At a clinic Mrs. Agnes recommended, Blessing began treatment. Then something unexpected happened. She started feeling sick in the morning. At the clinic, the nurse smiled. "Congratulations, you are pregnant." Blessing froze. Pregnant?" "Yes." 2 weeks later, during a scan, the doctor paused. "Blessing," she said carefully, smiling. "You are carrying triplets." Blessing stared at the screen, tears streaming. Triplets. She held the scan like a miracle she was afraid to touch. She kept the news quiet, protected it. Until one morning, a TV producer invited her to speak about fertility myths. Blessing agreed, carefully. On television, she spoke calmly. "A woman's worth is not decided by pressure." Back in Surulere, Mrs. Gloria froze in front of the screen. "That is Blessing," she whispered. Joy dropped her phone. James stood, shame flooding his chest. They rushed to find her. When they arrived, Blessing stood at the door, barely visible, calm. "I will not return," she said. "What? These children will not grow where their mother was thrown out." And for the first time, they realized the power they thought they had was already gone. They stood there longer than anyone expected. Mrs. Gloria gripping her handbag as if it might steady her. Joy shifting from foot to foot. James staring at Blessing's face like he was seeing it clearly for the first time. Blessing did not raise her voice. She did not insult. She did not defend herself with long explanations. Her calm did more damage than shouting ever could. "These children will not grow where their mother was thrown out," she said again, slower this time, so there would be no misunderstanding. Mrs. Gloria scoffed, but the sound was thin. "So you have now turned against your husband's family." Blessing met her eyes. "I was turned against first." Joy tried to laugh it off. "Auntie Blessing, do not be dramatic. We were only correcting you." Blessing looked at Joy, really looked at her, and shook her head. "Correction does not lock gates. Correction does not laugh at pain." James stepped forward, his voice low. "Let us go inside and talk." Blessing did not move. "There is nothing to discuss today." Mrs. Gloria's face hardened. "So you want to disgrace us publicly?" Blessing replied, "I was disgraced privately. This is simply truth standing where lies once stood." Deborah appeared beside Blessing, silent but firm. She did not speak. Her presence alone said enough. Mrs. Gloria hissed under her breath and turned sharply, dragging Joy with her. James lingered, eyes full of regret. "Blessing," he said quietly, "I am sorry." Blessing nodded once. I hear you." He waited, hoping for more. It did not come. He left. In the weeks that followed, Blessing focused on staying healthy. Triplets carried weight beyond the body. Her legs swelled. Sleep came in pieces. Deborah moved in to help, and Mrs. Agnes visited often, bringing soup and calm words that settled Blessing's racing thoughts. James began showing up without announcement. He paid hospital bills. He bought baby supplies. He waited outside during appointments, unless invited in. He spoke less and listened more. Blessing watched carefully. She did not rush forgiveness. She had learned what rushing cost. One afternoon, James sat across from her, hands clasped. "I failed you," he said. "I chose silence because it was easier than standing up to my mother. I let you carry shame that was not yours." Blessing listened. Why are you saying this now?" "Because watching you walk away showed me the man I became," he answered, "and I do not like him." She nodded slowly. "Change is not a speech." "I know," he said. "That is why I am still here." When the day of delivery came, the hospital moved quickly. Nurses spoke in calm voices. Doctors worked with practiced focus. Blessing's world narrowed to breathing and prayer, and Deborah's steady encouragement. Then the first cry cut through the room. Then the second, then the third. Blessing wept, overwhelmed not by victory, but by gratitude. 3 babies, each small and fierce in their own way, lay wrapped beside her. The hospital recorded a short clip with Blessing's consent for a maternal health segment. She sat quietly on the bed, holding one child while the others slept nearby. "I was called BARREN," she said softly into the camera. "But words spoken in cruelty do not decide destiny." The clip aired that evening. Back in Surulere, Mrs. Gloria watched again, this time without speaking. Joy sat stiffly, unable to joke. James stood near the television, arms crossed, shame heavy on his shoulders. Mrs. Gloria finally spoke. "So she really gave birth." James turned to her. "She did, and she did it without the house that should have protected her." Joy muttered, "She's enjoying this." James faced her. "Enough." Joy stared at him, shocked. So you are choosing her over us? I am choosing decency, he replied. Mrs. Gloria's voice rose. So you will abandon your mother for a woman? James answered calmly, I will not abandon you, but I will not allow you to destroy my home again. Silence fell. Now 2 days later, James visited Blessing at the hospital. He stood at a respectful distance, eyes soft. They are beautiful, he said. Blessing nodded. They are. He placed an envelope on the table. This is a new apartment close to the hospital. It is in your name. It is not a condition. It is responsibility. Blessing studied the envelope, then looked at him. Thank you. That was all she said. Months passed. Blessing settled into a routine, shaped by feeding times and medical appointments. Deborah remained close. Mrs. Agnes continued to be a quiet pillar. James showed consistency, not perfection, but effort. Mrs. Gloria sent messages that went unanswered. Then one evening, a voice note arrived. Her voice was older, stripped of authority. Blessing, she said slowly. I spoke badly. I treated you with cruelty. I am sorry. I cannot undo it. I only ask that you hear me. Blessing listened twice. She did not respond immediately. After prayer and reflection, she replied with a single message. I have heard you. Respect my boundaries. Mrs. Gloria sent back, I will. Blessing did not return to the old house. She built peace where safety lived. James remained present, learning patience the hard way. One quiet evening, Blessing sat by the window, watching rain fall again. Not the angry rain of rejection, but the gentle kind that washed dust from the road. She thought of the gates that once closed against her. She thought of the names thrown at her. She thought of how close she had come to believing them. Then she looked at her children sleeping nearby. Strength, she realized, is often mistaken for weakness until it walks away and never looks back. Moral lesson. Cruelty often hides behind tradition, pressure, and silence. Anyone who benefits from your pain will resist your healing. Protect your dignity early, because people who enjoy disrespect rarely stop on their own. Your worth is not decided by voices that fear your growth. What lesson stood out to you in this story? Who do you think was most at fault, and why? If stories like this speak to you, you are welcome here. Subscribe for more African family stories where justice always finds its voice. Thank you for watching.